Hi, my name is Donna Swanson. I'm the Executive Director at Focus Alternative Learning Center. We are a specialty organization that works with kids and individuals on the autism spectrum. And today you're going to see our first show of Focus on Autism. And we have a sample of our Spectrum Unplugged panel. And my co-host for these shows will be Lucas Hofstetter.
Nice to meet all of you. Welcome to Focus on Autism. Thanks for joining us.
Lucas is going to do a little bit of an introduction. You're going to find out all about autism from our hearts and our souls, and we are going to give a little bit of a definition that we use for autism. We're not going to be using a lot of the language. It's what you're going to be hearing is a down-home kind of grassroots kind of a story about how we feel about autism and being on the spectrum. So, Lucas, would you like to give a little explanation of how we define being on the autism spectrum?
Certainly. Thanks, Donna. Well, for those of you who aren't familiar with the spectrum, and even for those of you who are, the autism spectrum is a rainbow of sorts. It's a rainbow of creative wiring and social challenges. It encompasses a range of alternative ways of processing and interacting with the world around us. And as with any rainbow, no 2 points on the autism spectrum are exactly the same color. Each individual shows his or her creative wiring in a different way. That's a key point there. Now, in general, those on the spectrum face challenges in the areas of being understood and understanding others, as well as developing social and life skills, processing and completing tasks that are given to them, and especially forming and maintaining positive and fulfilling relationships. That's a key one there. The type and combination of these challenges differ drastically from one individual to the next, but it's important to remember that no matter what the diagnosis, autism is treatable. With proper and consistent interventions that are based on the individual's needs, it's possible for those on the spectrum to achieve independence and self-sufficiency and develop positive, healthy, and long-lasting bonds with others.
And I like to think about autism as a biologically based relationship disorder, and that's where our biggest problems come in, is in having relationships, maintaining relationships, and understanding the world and having the world understand us. I have some of our favorite guests here, and we're going to talk a little bit about what our high points about being on the autism spectrum are and what our low points are. But first of all, and I think we're going to end with calling the top 7, because I think that will be a kind of a fun way to end it. And we are here we want to have some fun. We also want to be able to give you the information straight from the source. So I would like to introduce Alex. And Alex over there, Alex, you want to raise your hand? Hi, how are you? What do you like about being on the autism spectrum?
I like about being on the autism spectrum is really good math and stuff. And what I don't like is that normal people do not understand me.
So Alex, in case you didn't hear him, he likes being on this autism spectrum because he's really good in math and science. And that's an understatement, because Alex just got the Presidential Achievement Award for math from President Obama. And so we're especially proud of him for that. And his low point was that being on the autism spectrum, normal people don't always understand him. And just so you guys know that the lights are kind of bright here, and Alex is kind of sensitive to light. So he has a pair of sunglasses on, and sometimes his eyes, they do bother you, right, Alex?
Yes.
But Alex says he has a lot to say, and we'll be getting on to more of that. But what's one of your dreams, Alex, that you want to do when you graduate?
And after I graduate college,
After you graduate college.
I plan on moving to Jamaica.
And what are you going to do in Jamaica?
On a smoothie bar.
So you're going to run a smoothie bar, huh? I'm sure you'll be there, Andy, right?
Yes.
Yes. Because, Andy, what's Andy's nickname, Alex?
Sir eats a lot.
Yeah.
Sir eats a lot. And why?
He likes to eat. His other nickname is Peter Pan because he doesn't want to grow up.
So his other name is Peter Pan because he doesn't want to grow up. Andy, is that true?
Yes.
Absolutely, right?
Right.
So Alex is going to graduate from high school, and he's going to go down to Jamaica. And the reason he wants to go to Jamaica is why, Alex?
Because it's warm down there.
It's warm down there, and that's important, right?
It's always warm down there. pretty much always summer in the tropics.
Pretty much always summer in the tropics?
Yeah.
Well, good. Next we have Andy. You want to introduce yourself a little bit?
Hi, my name is Andy Cables. I'm 28 years old. I live in Burlington, Connecticut, and on the autism spectrum, I have what's called Asperger syndrome, and I work in focus.
And again, that's all part. When you think of autism, I think what Lucas said is so true. That it's a spectrum,
Yeah.
and you picture a rainbow of all different colors, and we're all different. And no two of us are alike, but we all have a lot in common, right?
Yeah, right.
What do we have in common, Andy?
Me with everybody, or just you?
Yeah.
Like, well, you mean people on the spectrum?
Yeah.
Like, I would say that we all struggle to find acceptance, so to speak, right? Like,
Yeah.
and sort of fit in our own like niche, so to speak. Yeah.
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 I threw that at you. Usually,
Yeah.
that was a trick question.
But that's okay.
For you, right?
Yeah.
You were
I had to
ready.
think a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah, and you did a great job.
Thanks,
You did
yeah.
a great job.
Yeah.
What do you like about being on the autism spectrum?
I like the memory that I have. And I love music and sports, so I really and movies too. So I can like remember a lot of things about those things. So.
Yes, and he's also our GPS at times.
Yeah.
We have two of our guys who act as our GPS. Andy knows every route
Right.
to anywhere we've ever been,
Yeah.
and his memory is fantastic.
Yeah.
And at some point, we're going to do a call-in show for sports trivia.
Yeah, my friend Chris and I, who's also a member of the panel, but he's not here today, but he wants to do a sports show with he and I together. So.
Yes, because they know everything
Yeah.
about everything, and you
Right.
can actually try and stump him.
Yeah.
Which would be good. What don't you like about being on the autism spectrum?
The social anxiety that I portray.
That you have, yeah.
Have,
and,
yeah.
and you know what? The funny thing about Andy is that he has more problems when he's not on the
Exactly.
panel with
like,
anxiety.
yeah.
Like you stutter when you're not.
When I'm not on the panel,
panel.
like every once in a while, I stutter a little bit, but then when I'm on the panel, like, I just never ever stutter. So.
And why is that? Do you think?
I mean, I've always felt that I just rise to the occasion, like when the pressure gets greater. So.
So, dude, Sir eats a lot. Our little Peter Pan.
Yep.
He rises to the occasion.
Rises to the
that's
occasion.
right.
Yep.
And he also, everybody loves your smile, Andy.
Thank you very much.
You know?
Yeah.
They
Me too.
always feel like you like it too.
Right.
All right. And then we have Colleen.
Hi, I'm Colleen. I'm 20. I'm from Farmington, Connecticut, originally from Plainville, and I am a third-year direct care staff at Focus.
And what do you do during the year? Where do you go?
During the school year, I go to Clark University. I'm going to be a second semester junior this coming year, and I am a communication and culture major and an education minor.
And a very hard worker.
Yes.
Very hard worker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you like about being on the spectrum?
What I like about being on the autistic spectrum is that I'm very creative, and I can think of different things to be creative with stuff. What I don't like about being on the autistic spectrum is that it's hard for me to feel accepted and feel like I belong places, because sometimes my disability gets in the way of me fitting in.
And some of the shows that we're going to do in the future are going to be talking about, like you and Emily have a life in college, and we're going to be talking about different. Andy, you've had experience with college.
A little bit.
And well, you have an associate's
I do,
degree.
yeah.
Yep. And so there's a lot of different topics that we want to be able to share with you and talk about some sibling issues and bullying. So we hope that you will stay tuned for future shows. Anything else you'd like to add right now?
Well, actually, I'm in the honors program at Clark University for my major, communication and culture, and this year I'm going to be doing an honors thesis that is about media violence and bullying.
Awesome. So we can bring that into a show sometime. Because a lot of the kids here, I call them kids because I'm older than them, but have had experiences with bullying and not being treated well at school. And then there's some who have had nothing but good experiences, like Alex has. He got to the right school at the right time, middle school years, and has not experienced bullying in your older ages, right, Alex?
Right.
Yep. And Lucas?
Well, my name's Lucas. I'm 24 years old, and I've been working at Focus for about 12 years now, so a good half my life at least. I'm the team leader of Focus's mentorship program, and I also oversee the panel, the public speaking panel, which is assembled before you. I've been to college myself. I hold a certificate in adventure education, and
A reluctant certificate, I might add.
I had some help being persuaded to sign myself up for the program, yes. And here I am.
What do you like about being on the autism spectrum?
Well, I like that it gives me additional perspective and insight that others might not necessarily have. I was diagnosed with Asperger syndrome when I was probably 11 or 12, which was how I came to be referred to this organization. And I like that it allows me to think creatively, to think outside the box, and that in many ways, it facilitates my being able to see things from multiple angles, or angles that give me the ability to better solve or analyze things.
And what don't you like about it?
The social isolation, being on the spectrum. The autism spectrum is a spectrum of relationship impediments. It's very difficult for those of us on the spectrum to form and maintain positive relationships, as I mentioned earlier. And I've suffered from that all my life. It's one of those things where you don't want to look for pity or anything, which is not what I'm trying to do, but we want to share our experiences, and it really has been very difficult for me to form relationships with others and to maintain them.
And what underlies that for people on the spectrum? Not just for you, but why is it so hard for people on the spectrum to have relationships?
It's difficult for us to express ourselves to others in a way that others understand, and it's difficult for others, for their part, to meet us at least halfway towards where we're coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I would say in a nutshell.
Very well. Very well said. And to my left is Miss Emily.
I'm Emily. I'm 25 years old, and I work part-time with Focus, with the panels and everything, and because I like to help out, and just get the spread the word, and and everything, and plus I've known Donna for the longest time.
Since you were 12.
Since I was 12, yes. And I also go just part-time to college at the same time, part-time work, part-time college. And I work for graphic designing because that is my passion.
And so that's leads into like, what is one of the things that you like about being on the autism spectrum?
It allows me to have more creativity, I think, in certain ways.
She's so creative that one time in our group, we had a girls group going, and I gave Emily a ball of wax, or what was it, like a ball of...
It was just like a ball of wax, yeah.
And next thing I know, within a minute, she had a turkey that just came out of this little... I made a circle with like ears coming out of something terrible, and Emily next thing had this and within a minute had a whole turkey done.
It was near Thanksgiving.
Yeah, so that's why it was near Thanksgiving. And but you are very creative. What don't you like about being on the autism spectrum?
I feel like I'm always behind my peers developmentally.
So you're 25,
Yeah.
and developmentally, how old do you feel?
I feel about 18, like I'm just starting out learning how to be on my own and stuff.
And that's, you've come up with 2 years, because the last time I asked you that, about a year ago or so, you said you felt more like a 16-year-old. So you are closing that gap, and I think you do a really good job taking care of yourself and learning how to take care of yourself. And that's something that we will be talking about too, is why it's so hard to take care of yourself. But we're not going to do all that. You're going to have to stay tuned for some of this. We'll come back for more, right? And then we have RC. And RC, tell us a little bit about yourself. I met you when you were how old?
You met me when I was 12.
I met you when you were 12. And are you a little nervous right now?
No, the camera wasn't on.
The camera wasn't on? Oops. So, go ahead. Tell us what you like, a little bit about yourself and what your interests are.
Well, I'm RC. I'm 17. I'm going to be a senior in high school after this last month of summer. I like video games and hanging out with my friends. That's about it.
That sounds good. What do you like about being on the autism spectrum?
I like that it makes me who I am.
It makes you who you are, which is
Yeah.
very unique, right? I think so. Would you guys agree?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a lot of fun. You are a lot of fun. You have a lot of interests, and I know that a lot of the guys at Focus really look up to you, which is good because you're an intern. What do you not like about being on the autism spectrum?
I would say what they said, but then it'd be cliche.
Give us a cliche.
I don't like that the social stuff, but I also don't like that it's harder to get used to change.
Okay, so the social, and everybody's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, the change thing, and that's exactly right. Nobody likes change, and that's why when we go to do a panel or when we do any of our speaking, we make sure we get together ahead of time so that we can kind of relax, and then we make sure that we have time to socialize and plenty of time to get where we're going, and we also make sure we have time to go out and eat afterwards so that we can have a treat. So it becomes quite a social engagement for us. And that's what you've really liked, Alex, right? Is hanging out with the panel and going on the road trips. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
When we've seen Alex has grown a tremendous amount since he joined the panel. When he first saw our panel, he was only 11 years old, and he was very unhappy about having autism. Remember, you wrote us that letter. You had written a letter when you were 9 years old about how unhappy you were, and then after he saw our panel, he was 11, and he wrote a letter saying that he had changed his mind about having autism, and now you like having autism, right?
Right.
And one of the reasons is that you actually feel like you belong, and you see having autism as a good thing now, right? The lights are really bothering you? That's all right.
He's got sunglasses.
Coping mechanism right there.
Yeah, that's all right. And one thing you'll see about all of us is that we really care about each other, and I think that that people sometimes are surprised by that, Lucas. In the feedback that we get from the panels that we've spoken to, people are always astounded by what?
By our compassion for each other and how well we relate with each other.
And our good senses of humor. Would you agree?
I would agree. That's one of our biggest feedback points, actually.
Is it?
Yes.
And because Lucas has the chore of going through all the data and adding it up and seeing what people like and
Oh, it's far from a chore. Reading through some of the feedback we've gotten has provided me with a good laugh at times, too.
Yeah.
like what?
Oh, I can't remember off the top of my head. There have just been some great
remember.
comments.
I
Colleen, go
remember
ahead.
at the young adult services social group, which both me, Luke, and Emily are in. We were looking through the feedback charts one time, and we were looking through them, and we said, we should make an autism cheat code site so people could look through and be like, okay, we can do this, or we can do that. And it's like, yay, autism cheat codes.
Do you know what she's talking about?
I do. That was, they helped me go through some of our evaluations once, and our senses of humor kind of went their own way from there.
Do you remember, Emily?
Yeah.
As far as some of the things the actual evaluations have said, I've read through so many that they're all sort of just melding together, but we've gotten a lot of feedback on our senses of humor, our empathy, and how much we care about each other. And our ability to respond to the audience's questions.
Mhm. And I know that some people actually say it's like I'm in my child's head. You guys help me understand my child because you've been so honest and open about what's going on, I feel like I totally understand.
That's another one we get a lot, yes. Thank you for helping me understand my child.
You know what, one of the questions that people have asked us, and I'm going to go around and ask whoever wants to answer this, but about video games. Why are video games so important? Andy, do you remember having that question asked?
Not to me.
Not to you?
No.
Do you have an answer for that? Because
Just-
you like
well,
video games,
yeah,
right?
I think that they're good and fun to play. So.
And do they help with your anxiety?
Yeah, like I don't feel like I have I think it goes out the window every time I play.
And do you play a lot?
Sometimes, not as much as I watch TV, but I play like a fair amount, yeah.
And what do you watch on TV?
Sports, yeah,
And
movies,
then maybe
music
some
is-
sports?
Yeah, so, yeah, like sports mainly, yeah.
He plays sports video games, too.
Yeah, yeah, sports mainly, so.
Star Wars.
Yeah.
You like Star Wars?
I love Star Wars.
And is that that video game you play the most?
Yeah.
And why do you like to play video games, Alex?
Because I think it's a good way to keep my brain busy.
It's a good way to keep your brain busy. Because you're always thinking, aren't you?
I'm always thinking about music. There's always a song playing in my head.
There's always a song playing in your head. The reason I wanted to talk about video games is because a lot of parents want to know why their kids want to play video games so much, and is it bad for them?
No.
RC, you say absolutely no, it's not bad for
No,
them.
right.
RC, what do you like to play?
I'm not really picky, but I've gotten into this niche with Halo and RPGs kind of thing.
Role-playing games?
Yeah.
I act like I know what I'm talking about. That's all I know is what RPG stands for.
Years of running the program will give you a little bit of
Yeah.
experience.
What about
And why do you like what does playing video games do for you?
Well, it takes your mind off what you're worrying about, or at least what you think. You don't have to be worrying about something. But then,
that's a multiplayer online role-playing game?
then you're thinking about
Yeah.
like that mission or that quest that you're doing. So
So-
instead of what, like, the anxiety you could be focusing on, which is not necessarily a good thing, you're focusing on something that isn't real, that,
That you have some
They-
control over too.
yeah, and it's not bad. You can just turn it off if you're getting frustrated.
Oh, very interesting. So you can, it takes your mind off everything, and it's not real. And you can, then if you're getting frustrated, you can turn it off so that it serves multiple levels of anxiety management. And I think that's something that everybody on the autism spectrum has in common is anxiety. Believe it or not, Emily's quite the gamer. What do you like about being on video games?
Well, I've been playing them since I was 4, so I don't remember not playing video games. And, well, it's just, like they said, it's, it keeps your mind on that. I guess you could say it's kind of a way to escape, only it's not really that not as unhealthy as a lot of other ways could be. And I've met and played with a lot of friends through it and everything. And
So you're talking about some of the online games, right? Or
no, I'm not actually. I'm just talking about playing with my friends in elementary school. I would
Yeah.
play games. I introduced them to video games.
She actually plays video games with her mom. Your mom is quite good at video games, right?
She hasn't played it in a while, but she likes to play them every once in a while.
But you're pretty good.
Yeah.
If I heard correctly.
Yeah.
What about you, Lucas?
Well, boss, you were the one who always liked to say that people on the spectrum are like Maseratis with Volkswagen brakes. Our anxiety can go from 0 to 100 in 3.5 seconds. And video games for a lot of us, for me at the very least, are a way of putting the brakes on the anxiety. It's a method of anxiety management. It's also very calming and relaxing because it provides you with a world that's predictable, a world that won't throw unexpected challenges at you from turn to turn, one that you can go back through, play through again and again, you know what to expect. And that's big because, as RC mentioned earlier, we have a lot of trouble often with change and with the unexpected and the unforeseen. So for us to come home from, say, a day of school or work where any number of myriad challenges have been thrown at us, and to then be able to sit down and play some video games, it's really very de-stressing. Alex also brought up an excellent point that it helps to clear out some of the various static that can go through our minds, because our minds are very much often like televisions with a broken remote control that just sort of keeps switching from channel to channel every few seconds, and it can be very hard for us to focus.
And playing video games keeps me from getting obsessive thoughts.
Exactly. Well,
Yeah.
see, I couldn't have worded it better.
Can you, well, he said that it helps him, can you say what he said?
Well, he mentioned that sometimes he gets songs stuck in his head, and it helps him to take his thoughts off of what he's getting obsessed with.
I do like music.
Yeah.
I plan on becoming a rock star myself.
And you heard it here, okay? This is a future rock star, right?
Right.
And he's playing the guitar. He's been playing it since September 2nd of this past year. Colleen, we're going to go, I'm going to have you do the, I want you to talk about, just briefly about your video, why you like to play video games, and then I want you to do your top.
Oh, yes, that.
All right, so guys, be thinking about what we talked about earlier.
I play video games. I don't do a lot of the first-person shooter RPG games because I don't have very good spatial perception. But I like strategy games like Tetris and sometimes Crazy Taxi and other games like that because it's strategy games. I like figuring things out and trying to understand, okay, this thing goes here, this thing goes here, bam, something happens.
Good. I think we have to move on because our time with you, it's almost time to end. It went by very fast, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yes, it
we
did.
weren't done until 2.
Well, we're almost done for this session. So be thinking, Colleen, take it away.
Well, tonight we're going to do something somewhat akin to David Letterman. We're going to have a top 7 reasons why autism is awesome. Alex, would you like to start?
Autism is awesome. Say, autism is awesome because.
Autism is awesome because you can go to schools with no bullies.
Autism is awesome because you can go to school with no bullies. Is that what you said?
Life is a break.
Life is a break. Very good. Andy?
Autism is awesome because it allows me to remember a lot of things.
Autism is awesome because it helps me think creatively.
Autism is awesome because it's helped to enlighten me to the ways in which people interact with each other and relate to each other.
Autism is awesome because I get to meet incredible minds and incredible people.
Autism is awesome because I got to meet a great group of friends and comrades.
Very nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
Autism is awesome because my life is unique and fun.
Yeah.
So we hope you come back and watch us on Focus on Autism because we will be back and we would like your feedback and we hope you tune in to us next time. What do you guys say?
Thanks for
Thank you.
joining
Thank you.
us.
Adios.